Greetings, my name is Hamsha Naidu. Welcome to yet another episode of Flavourful Eats. Accompanying me today on a culinary journey to Sicily is Sharon Pecoraro. Sharon is an entrepreneur, cook, amongst other hats she uses, currently owning the Spruce Street Cafe on Spruce Street, Acton, Massachusetts. Welcome, Sharon.
Thank you.
Sharon is going to take us on a nostalgic journey to Sicily, cooking an eggplant relish. And serving that with bruschetta.
Yes.
And you're doing a cannoli.
Yes.
At the end of it. So we get started with the eggplant. While the eggplant's frying, we will talk about the different ingredients. You want to?
Sure.
So our oil is hot.
Oil is hot, we hope. Oop, it got on hot. While it's getting hot.
While it's getting, well, it's supposed to be really hot.
Yes.
So while it's sizzling, you put in the eggplant,
Yes.
correct?
Yes.
So while that's going on, we'll introduce you to some of the other ingredients that's going in.
Yes.
So we're going to we have
onion. Each of these ingredients is going to be fried in olive oil.
Okay.
Okay. Olives.
Olives.
Celery. Capers.
Capers. Yeah.
And we're going to end with two versions of this. One version that is used at St. Joseph's Day, which is March 19th, which has no tomato in it, and the regular relish that has tomato in it. It's a sweet and sour relish.
Okay, so the sweet and sour, and I guess this is a sauce
that's the salt, that's the sugar and the vinegar.
Okay, so that's got sugar and vinegar.
Yes.
And this has got the capers to bring the salt.
That's right.
Right, and then all the other ones bring all the other flavors.
Yes.
The lovely color.
Yes.
So you're going to show our audience how you'll be doing, preparing the eggplant. You first chose a nice plump eggplant, and then you washed it out.
Yes, I did.
And you peeled out the skin, because some dishes you just peel the skin, and this is one of them.
Right, and you want it to look attractive. And I peel it, and we dice it like this, and then we put it in a strainer, and we put a little salt on it to get some of the bitter liquid.
Yeah, the salt actually helps to bring out the bitterness.
It leaches the salt out. It leaches the bitter liquid out. And we let that stay in the colander for probably a half an hour, and then we squeezed it.
Right, after you put the salt, you let it stand a little bit, and then you, when the liquid comes out, you squeeze it.
We squeezed it, and then the salt, and then we just let it sit, and then we squeezed it, and then I rinsed it.
Right. So that wouldn't be adding more liquid to the eggplant?
No, because then I took the paper towels and I had it dry, so that you wouldn't get hurt when you were starting to. That's right, wouldn't splash on you.
Okay, all right. So, so while this is frying, are you going to be adding that to today's one, or is this going to be demonstration purposes?
Yes, this is just for demonstration purposes. We did this about an hour ago.
Yes, we did. Yeah, and then so do you know? I know this comes from the Mediterranean itself, and you find a lot of it in Mediterranean cooking.
Yes.
I know Sicily is quite close to Greece.
Yes.
So is there any influence of Greece into your cooking, do you think?
On the part of the island in which my ancestors are from, it isn't a Greek influence as much as it is an Arabic influence.
Oh, okay. All right.
And there's a whole cuisine called Arabo Siculo, which is Arabic Sicilian cooking.
Oh, okay.
And I grew up cooking with my grandmother and my mother, making all these sort of things for holidays and just to have them.
Oh, like you said, this was St. Joseph's Day.
St. Joseph's Day.
And you actually told me a nice story of how the community will get together.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. In our family, St. Joseph's Day was a very big deal. The paternal side of my family would rent a hall, and all the cousins, the uncles, the aunts, and friends of the family, poor people, blind people, everybody would come, and the women would cook.
Okay.
The women would cook.
And they rent the hall, they do the renting. That's
we would do the renting,
okay, all right.
And the women would do the cooking as usual. And we would make, this would be a coursed meal. So you'd
Okay.
have a little bit of orange and olive to begin.
Oh,
Okay.
right.
Reminiscent of what the agriculture was in Sicily.
Okay.
Then you would have lentils with, you would eat a lentil soup. Then you would have spaghetti con
yeah.
sardi, which is spaghetti in a tomato sauce made with anchovies and pine nuts and raisins and sardines.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yes. And then we would have what are called frojas. And that is a little omelet made with boiled vegetables with a little bit of cheese and a little bit of flour, and we'd fry them. And we would have the, I'm going to call it the blonde or the poor version of what this eggplant is, this eggplant relish.
Okay.
And then we'd sit around and
And you said this was called
caponatina.
Caponatina.
Caponata,
Uh-huh.
caponatina,
Okay.
small caponata.
All right. Okay. And do you think this is ready, or it needs a little bit more?
It probably needs a little bit more.
Is it too high? You want me to bring it down
Nope.
a little bit? Okay.
No, I think it's okay because, yeah, it's a little too high. We'll make it go down a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we panicked
Because
a
it's
little
starting
there.
to be brown.
Yes, and we really don't want them. We want them a little brown, but not a lot brown.
Right. And then you normally would fry this on the medium. The oil needs to be hot.
Yes.
Initially.
Yes.
But you fry it on medium through
Yes.
the whole cooking process.
Yes.
Is that correct?
That's exactly it.
Okay. And do you add salt again after taking this?
No,
Because you got the capers that get
we
the
have the
salt.
capers that are going to give the salt. We also have the vinegar that is
Right.
going to
give
to
that
flavor.
Right.
This is all, anytime you see sweet and sour in Sicilian cooking, that's the influence of Arab cooking. And the Arabians brought almost all of these ingredients to Sicily
Okay.
because Sicily thrived under Arab rule. They had it for about 200 years because they could irrigate. They revolutionized the agriculture.
Oh, that's what it was.
That's what they did. Okay, now I think for whatever, just let this cook just a couple of minutes more.
Okay.
And then we can dump it and start the other.
Okay.
Okay?
All right.
Shall
so
we?
yeah, we
All
can do
right,
that.
I'll do it.
Oh, you just
Well,
turning
that's
it-
what I'm going to do for now, I think, is just put it in, if that's okay. Is that okay?
No, I don't
Would be
think
safe?
I think it would be
All right.
safer to do this.
Okay. There we go.
So the studded spoon, you just remove everything out of the
Yes.
oil.
And we're going to save the oil because we're going to add a little bit of the oil back. And the oil then is flavored with all the ingredients.
Right. Oh, at the end of the thing?
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
So we go a little bit at a time. Next, we're going to do the onions.
Okay.
So
we
we're
get the
going to get a
onion.
little more. Hang on here. There we go.
Shall I get the heat up again a little bit?
Yeah, sure, if you'd like. I think that would be very good. This is very dangerous cooking.
Yes.
Yes,
Don't.
'cause don't do this at home. There you go. And now we're going to put in those onions. Get a couple of these so they don't burn. Sorry. You can do the onions. Go
Just
ahead.
pour it over?
Yes.
Yeah.
There we
you
go.
see.
And this is one onion. So it's
This is one whole onion.
It's one whole onion. It just needed two little.
And you use about 2 or 3 baby eggplants?
Yes, about 2.5. About 2
Okay.
pounds. I used a big one and a little one.
Okay. As the onions are frying, Sharon is going to show us how she gets the olives from this stage to this stage by pounding it.
Yes, by
So I give
pounding
you
it.
that to pound.
Thank you very much. Well, my mother gave me, well, this is actually what we used to do when I was young. My mother reminded me that in order to crack.
Can I have 1 second?
Sure.
I think this may come on the way
Okay.
to.
There we go.
There you go. Go ahead. Go ahead.
My mother suggested that I don't forget how we crack the olives because they have to be olives, Sicilian olives that have the pits in them. These are the olives that you use in Caponatina. So she suggested that this is how we do it, with a bottle.
Oh, really?
But usually it's a bottle of wine, but I don't want to do that. So I took a bottle of salad dressing. So that's one way of doing it if you want to kill yourself.
I'm assuming they would drink the wine and do the...
No, not really. You could actually do it with something like this. Whoops, and that happens if it isn't the correct tool. You can do it with a how do you say, a can, something that's a little heavy.
Right.
You can do it with a mallet. So there you go. That
Right.
is very excellent.
Easy.
That's pretty excellent. Or you could do it with one of these meat choppers, and this is my weapon of choice. So, oh, wrong side. So you crack the olives like this.
And there you go.
There you go.
And this is what you did.
This is what you get.
This is what you did before.
And you pit them. You don't
Oh,
leave the
right.
pits.
Because you have pits in them, right.
You pit them,
Uh-huh.
and then you're going to fry them along with everything else.
Okay. Do you want to caramelize this a little more?
No.
No? This is
they
good?
just are to be translucent.
So is this good, or you want a tad bit more? Tad bit more.
Let's take a stir and see
Okay.
what it looks like.
Oh, dear.
These olives are good.
They're good olives?
Yeah, I didn't taste any now, although I would love to. This looks okay. Probably we would do them a little bit more, just so they're really translucent.
Right.
But let's take them out. There you go.
You use the same tool?
We're going to use the same very archaic tool.
We didn't bring our regular slotted spoon
That's
to
right.
remove
That's
stuff.
right. And we would make this, we wouldn't just eat it on St. Joseph's Day. We would eat it on the weekends with bread. We would eat it with sandwiches. You could put it on a sandwich.
It
Put
must
on a
be-
sandwich. It's delicious on a sandwich.
Anything fried is always
That's
good,
good.
right?
And
about the flavor,
And the flavor is excellent. The flavor is excellent. So this is just another way that we eat eggplant, or as it's called in our Sicilian dialect, moulinjan.
Is that what it's called?
Moulinjan, yes.
And then other people call it...
Bottom John, I've heard.
Oh, really?
Yes, bottom John.
Okay.
Have you,
And then
how do you call
the
it in
French
India?
aubergine, right?
Aubergine.
Aubergine.
And how would it be in India?
well, depending on the language.
What's yours?
Mother tongue is Telugu.
And what it would be in Telugu?
Vankai.
Vankai.
Yes.
There you go. And we ate vankai a lot.
And it is also brinjal.
Brinjal.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we all love this in a lot
Yeah.
of different ways.
So you're putting the celery
And
next?
next, we're going to need a little more olive oil.
A little more olive oil. You have the olive oil?
Over
Oh,
there, you
it's-
moved it. There
right,
you
we
go.
did move it.
Thank you very much. We'll put a little more of this in. Thank you. And there's no, how do you say, no scarcity of oil in this dish.
Oh, yes, I can see that.
And I'll take out the little burned guys, because
Yes.
that's always very important. Okay. I don't know if we're going to get them all, but... And you can
I
just
don't normally fry too much, as you can tell. I'm going further and further from the stove.
All right, we're going to fry these babies.
It looks like that's going to fry very quickly.
Stand back, Humsha.
Yeah.
I'm going to lower
Should
this a
have put
little
an
bit.
apron today.
I know. But my clothes are all stained with grease anyway. It doesn't really make any difference to me. Really doesn't. So.
Well,
So we ate eggplant in sandwiches with tomato sauce. My grandmother would make it. We would actually pickle eggplant with vinegar and olive oil, and then can it.
the good thing about eggplant, it takes the flavor of other
Yes.
things. It's really,
Yes.
yeah, it's one of those nightshade vegetables.
Yes,
is
it's a
what they call it.
nightshade vegetable
So some people actually don't eat it, right?
because they're allergic to whatever it
allergic.
is that is a nightshade.
Well, tomatoes get into that category too, right?
Yes. So while this is going, how about if we put in those capers?
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yes.
All of them?
Yeah, I like a lot of capers in these, personally.
Okay.
Alrighty.
That's definitely the Mediterranean.
Yes, capers, and let's put in some of these.
Yes,
and
go ahead.
hopefully I didn't leave any pits when I was pounding them in the preparation of this. And I did. There it is. And they're not supposed to be chopped up very
Fine.
small. No, they're
I
supposed
noticed
to
that you
be,
didn't do that. You just
Yes.
roughly chopped it up.
yes, they're supposed to keep their integrity.
Ah.
Yes.
So people know that it's olives,
Yep,
right?
that it's olives. And this is also a Sicilian dish that represents the harvest,
Okay. So this is typically the spring dish?
the fall dish.
Oh.
Yes, the fall dish. And there is, because it's
Oh, harvest,
preserved,
right.
there's two theories on how the name came to be. The first theory is that it was a mariner's dish because it's
Okay.
preserved in vinegar,
Right,
a
right.
mariner's breakfast. But the cappa, is also the name in Latin or Italian for tavern.
Oh, okay.
So they think it may have been an inn food, you know, from
right.
a little hotel or that. But it is definitely Arabo siculo, Arabic Sicilian.
Okay. And it's
Okay.
also, you have a term for the sweet and sour, right?
Yes.
What is that
yes.
again?
That again is agrodolce. Agrodolce.
Right.
Sour and
And
sweet.
Was
Now-
that coming from the from Spanish influence, the
Well,
dolce?
well, see well, that's Italian
Oh,
dolce.
okay. Oh, right.
Right.
That's correct.
But there was Arabic in some of the Sicilian cooking. The Arabs also had an influence in Spain. So it's difficult sometimes to because Spain also had Sicily.
Okay.
It's difficult to separate. Now we're just going to take these out. They should be a little bit, I don't know.
So, but how much of celery did you put in there?
I put in probably 2 stalks.
So you put 2 eggplants,
I put two
stalks
stalks.
of celery. How much of
1
capers?
onion.
One big onion, one huge onion.
You're supposed to just
I guess
put in.
this is about the size
yes,
of onion
yes,
you use?
that's
Okay.
exactly it.
Okay.
And you're supposed to put in 2 tablespoons of capers. And maybe that's a little more. I don't believe it's very much more.
Yeah.
I bought the good capers.
So you put 2 tablespoons of capers.
Yes.
Okay.
Let's just finish this up. Okay. And now there's going to come the tricky part.
Gonna put everything back.
We're
in?
going to put everything back together.
Okay.
But I'm sort of fearful
Because of the
because of the
tools-
fire.
Because of the tools we have to.
Yes, and I'm going to take this and I'm going to put this in a little bit because normally you would add back some of this oil, and I'm just going to get this oil a little bit loose, this tomato paste.
Okay.
It's 3/4 of a cup of tomato paste.
3/4 cup of, okay.
Yes. My mother would also make a little sauce. I didn't do that because I think this is probably easier for people at home to do.
Right.
Is just take the tomato paste. Thank you. And do it rather than
So
make
if you have to
plain
make,
sauce.
if you make your plain sauce, what are the ingredients you use for that?
You would take olive oil and saute some onion,
Okay.
and then you would take any sort of puree of tomato,
Okay.
and add a little water and a little tomato paste, and then you would just let it cook
Right,
down until
okay.
it tasted nice.
So that took a long time too.
That would, yes. Now I'm going to transfer this
Okay.
into here. Sorry.
I wonder if
mother
I'll spill
bowl.
the Ceylon. Let's have
I'm
this
sorry.
Ceylon.
Okay, should I put it here?
Yeah. Can I take this out?
No, I'm going to add a little bit of the oil back,
Yeah.
if you don't mind.
Okay, go ahead.
I will. Just a little bit, not the whole thing. We're going to add this.
Okay. Go ahead.
Wow, that smells pretty good, doesn't it?
It does. You
I'm
only
s-
could have smells.
I know, smell-o-vision.
Smell-o-vision.
Oh, the blonde, sorry about this. This is the blonde version, or
Okay.
the St. Joseph's version,
You want to.
which would be the poor version.
Okay. And
Okay.
you add the sauce in with the.
Yes, and then
That's the rich
the
version.
rich version is adding the sauce, And then we're going to add this to taste.
So what quantities of that did you put in there?
I put in 4 teaspoons of sugar to 1 cup of wine vinegar.
Okay, so 1 cup of wine vinegar, 4
Right.
teaspoons of sugar.
Right. This would probably be cooked a little bit more before we finish it. We'd put it back in the frying pan.
Do you want to put it back in the frying pan?
Yeah,
You can do that.
Yes, it doesn't look like there's. I'm worried that there'd be too much,
Okay.
but I
don't
think this is
so.
okay. No, it's fine.
Yeah.
There we go. So let's crank her up. There we go. And then we're just going to saute this a little bit. And in the meantime, let's taste. How's that?
Oh, that's
Okay.
not my.
Well, it's to taste, so
Okay.
we'll see how
So
you like it.
You do the tasting
you-
this time, and we'll taste
Okay.
later.
All right, we'll taste later because I have to see if we need more vinegar,
oh,
sweet
right,
and sour.
right, yeah.
And my mother's the authority on that one, but she's not here. She's in Buffalo, so we're going to give a little taste. Okay.
Need
It's
another
excellent.
spoon? Is it okay?
Yep. I'm going to put a little more of this in it. We also can this.
Oh, it
You
looks like
could-
something
that we would
for
can.
sure.
We would can this in bottles, and I canned it about 3 years ago,
Uh-huh.
and I still have some.
Oh, okay. 3 years? Well, the vinegar
Yeah.
would have preserved
Yeah,
it.
and I can it properly with a hot water bath and all the rest of it.
And you
So,
would have probably, onions and stuff would have cooked more.
yes, they absolutely would have.
Because onions is one of those things that can spoil
Yes.
stuff.
Yeah.
If it's,
There
that
you go.
looks yummy.
It's delicious, and I'm going to close this off. Okay, and then should we show everybody how we would eat it? Now or later?
Later.
Okay.
Sharon, our eggplant relish is really looking good. So with that, you're going to be serving some bruschetta.
Yes.
You're going to tell us how you did that?
I cut up a baguette and on the bias, and I put it in the oven, and I let it get hot
Toasted.
and crispy and toasty, and that's all I did.
So you toasted it.
I just toasted it. You can eat the
So what temperature you normally put your
room temperature.
No, when you're toasting the
Oh, I
the
toasted
bread?
I toasted the bread at like 350
So
until it
moderate
got like
oven?
that.
Okay,
Yes.
so about 5.
Yeah, about 10 minutes, 15
okay.
minutes. I kept a watch on it because I'm notorious for burning it.
Again, it depends whether you got a convection oven, a commercial
Yes,
oven, a
that's
home
right, a
oven.
home oven.
I think the oven in the studio will take 20 minutes.
Okay.
So if you did it in a commercial oven, I'm thinking 10 minutes.
That's right, with the fan on.
Oh, that's a convection then.
That's-
Okay, so then you're going to be
take it.
So you serve it
Yes.
exactly like this. You put the
Yes.
bruschetta around,
Yes.
and you'll be putting the relish in the middle.
Yes.
So I will get that ready for serving.
There you go. And it's room temperature because normally this is at room temperature.
Well,
Yes.
by the time we get done
That's
with our
right.
dessert,
It'll
it's
be
going to be room
room
temperature. So that'll be just perfect
There you go.
for our appetizers.
Lovely.
Lovely. Looks beautiful. Really looks beautiful. You have an olive to put in the middle here? A
No.
full olive?
No.
Okay.
No, I guess I don't have that. I would take my hand and put it there. Would you like me to do that? I have a
That's all
spoon.
right. That's all right. That's all right. All right. So from here, you're going to get
To
doing
dessert.
a dessert. The
That's
dessert
right.
is a cannoli.
Cannoli,
So how
yes.
do you actually make the pastry?
Well, I didn't bring those little tubes
Oh, you did
because
not,
they sell
okay.
because they're dangerous. I don't
They're
want.
quite pointed.
No, they're not pointed. They're hot because
Oh,
you're gonna
you just
you're
made
gonna
them?
you're gonna take this dough.
Uh-huh.
You're gonna roll it out, and then you're gonna wrap it around that it's steel.
Right.
And then you're gonna deep fry it.
Right.
And when I've made these by myself, I burn the heck out of myself.
Oh,
so I
dear.
don't think it's a good thing to suggest to people. We buy them.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so I buy them, and they're really just, I think they're just as good without the hurting yourself part.
That's true.
This is also an Arabian influence. Any flaky pastry, which the shell is an Arabian
Wow.
influence on Sicilian cooking. The original cannoli was probably with pastry cream and not with ricotta,
Right,
ricotta,
right.
ricotta, okay? Because there was the Arabs didn't do any cheese making.
They did not?
No, from what I read, they didn't.
So how do you get paneer and stuff? It's not them, I guess.
Paneer? They didn't. The
That's
Arabs didn't do
Okay.
any cheese making of with milk, evidently.
Oh, wow.
That's what I read. All I have here is ricotta. We put in some sugar, okay? Some
Sugar to taste.
Sugar to taste, because we don't do them too sweet.
All right.
Put in vanilla if you like. You also can put in, because the Arabs brought in candied fruit,
All right. You put in fruit.
you could put in some chopped up citron or chopped up candied fruit.
What about pistachios?
You could put pistachios in it. You could put chocolate chips in it. You could dip them in pistachios or whatever you like. We just like them plain.
Plain. Okay.
Yes. We just like them plain. Now, here's what I did is, in case you really want to be veg, because we have a lot vegan. That's right, vegan.
Vegan. So you put tofu.
Here's tofu. You could mix some sugar into tofu with a little vanilla.
So which variety of tofu would you suggest? The silken?
The silken one.
Right.
And this really, I drained it.
Yes, you have to drain
I
tofu
drained it.
very well. Yeah.
And this is something you should be familiar with. This is paneer.
That is paneer. Chopped,
Paneer.
okay.
And I guess you would take it with a beater and beat it up, and maybe add some sort of liquid that you would be comfortable with, and add some vanilla and a little bit of sugar, and you could do the same thing.
Homemade paneer probably don't even need liquid.
Because it's more
It is
soft.
Yes.
It's very soft.
Depending on how soft or hard your paneer is, to add this. Okay. All right.
I love paneer. And I also love these pastry bags. But if you don't have a pastry bag, you can take your cannoli filling and you can put it in a little Ziploc bag that I have cut the tip off here. Just like this. Cut off the tip. And you can insert your cream or whatever you're doing, and then you can fill your cannoli with either a spoon or with this little invention.
Right.
But I'm going to use a pastry bag because I can. And I like it. It's fun once you figure out how you use it.
All right.
So here's
It's a
some
good
of
thing
our
we cleaned our
tabletop. We
tabletop
did.
yes.
All cleaned and sanitized. So here's what you do. You take it like this, because I had to have the talk. I had the lesson.
Okay.
And you fill like this.
Okay.
And you fill like this. And there you go.
That's simple enough,
It's
right?
very, very simple. And you know, we did appetizer and dessert. We didn't do in the middle. We didn't do protein or anything like that, did
Well,
we?
you got the ricotta, which
That's
is
right.
protein.
It's
there.
very good protein.
Good protein.
There you go.
And instead of regular white sugar, you could use coconut sugar, which has a lot of different.
Absolutely.
It may give a little color, but with the color of the pastry, you're not going to see that little caramel-looking thing from the coconut sugar. So there are ways and means of, you know, if you want to do stuff.
Yes.
If you're going with tofu again, you can maybe even use. You think maple syrup will work?
It wouldn't be traditional.
It wouldn't be traditional.
It wouldn't be traditional, but at this point, if you wanted to do whatever you wanted to do, you certainly can.
Right, yes.
Because I've seen other recipes of cannoli that have some liqueurs in it, so that make it very delicious. But I'm a purist, really. I like having just the regular kind.
I don't blame you.
No,
I mean,
it's
that's
delicious.
always just, yeah. I should have brought a bag and helped you along with this too, so you go faster.
No, it's a lot of fun. This
It is.
Yeah, once you figure it out.
Yeah, no, it's really simple. And if you want to go a little bit more fancy, you could put a star nozzle. So it's quite a nice technique, right? It's easy and
Yes. And we don't necessarily always put a tip in, because we don't want the metallic taste of the tip to influence the cream.
Okay.
Because the cream's very delicate.
All right. So, well, this is what the cannoli looks like before you put the thing in.
Yes.
And then you put that in.
Yep.
So now maybe we can leave a couple free in case somebody just wants to eat a.
That would be wonderful.
Yeah. So, and then now maybe we can do the tasting and.
Would you like to start with the appetizer or whatever we do? Here's just exactly what you would do, just very simply. Take a little bit of this on bread.
the traditional name for this eggplant?
Caponatina, caponata.
Okay.
Caponata. So this is like making it sort of a bruschetta.
Okay.
A bruschetta.
Uh-huh.
And am I supposed to eat this?
Yes, go
Okay,
ahead,
go
enjoy
Sharon.
it, yes. So you can taste all those beautiful flavors
delicious.
just coming up, and just
It's sweet, it's salty. You get all the independent flavors from it. I get a little bit of olive, caper, onion, eggplant. It really is good.
I can see it's going to be really, really good. Looking forward to having that. And how about the cannolis? Just
Usually we do powdered sugar.
Is the powdered sugar will look that much better?
A little
just,
bit.
Sprinkle some powdered
Sugar on it. I didn't bring any.
Okay.
So and then you would just eat these the same way.
All right.
I'm supposed to do this now too. I love these.
Go ahead.
The crunch, the smoothness, their sweetness. This isn't overly sweet, but it's nice and flaky. They're just wonderful combinations of texture and finery, I guess. You know,
Okay,
this is a fine thing to eat.
Well, thank you so much, Sharon, for joining me on this really nice culinary experience to
Thank
Sicily.
you.
And you, Spruce Street Cafe, is a whole meal for everybody.
That's right.
So I'd love the camera crew and everyone to come and join us. Thank you, camera crew, for a lovely job done. Thank you all for listening in. Until we meet again, bye from Flavourful Eats. Thank you.